Hello there, hola, buenos dias, and thank you for finding me here at my YouTube channel, Benidorm and Beyond. I'd like to give you all a very warm welcome to my original and long-standing series of vlogs entitled Benidorm Breakfast, the Original Tostada Tour, which gives you a whirlwind excursion around 5 coffee shops, bars or bakeries that I've tried in the last month for my favourite Spanish brekkie of coffee served with toasted baguette topped with tomato. Although I've lived here in the resort of Benidorm for well over 20 years, there's still always somewhere new to discover, to eat and drink, and with this vlog I aim to give a genuine feel for each venue and an honest review, along with the price I paid and a short look around the premises. My very favourite way to start the day, when I can, is with a piping hot white coffee or café con leche, accompanied by a tostada con tomate. And this is usually served as half a toasted baguette, topped with freshly grated tomato, extra virgin olive oil and sea salt. But as you will see, there are many variations on presentation, style and substance. The tostada can also be topped with additional ingredients as well as the tomato, such as cheese, jamon serrano or even avocado in some of the trendier places. So there's always a way to ring the changes and get yourself a new taste sensation. So why not join me on this mouth-watering tour and check out this month's top spots? So let's get started on tour number 17. Our first stop takes us to the beautiful Levante beachfront along the section known as Avenida Madrid, where on the corner junction with Avenida de Almeria we see the cafeteria Copacabana. Whilst its previous incarnation for just a year or so was a velour coffee shop and chocolateria owned by the locally famous Villa Hoya brand, many of you will remember that before that it was the popular busy beach bar of the Copacabana Saloon, packed with drinkers and sun worshippers alike all day long. Now back to its Copacabana brand once more, but more of a cafe bar than a pub now, it still retains its large roomy premises with an outdoor terrace for those who like to soak up the sun, along with a shaded area too, and 2 inside areas, one completely glassed in like a separate room, and the other one semi-al fresco to enjoy a drink, snack or even a meal in. Open daily from 10 AM to 10 PM with a slightly later closing time of 10:30 PM between Fridays and Sundays, this prime location is a great spot for a bit of brekkie, although do be warned it does get extremely busy. And whilst the waiting staff absolutely do their best, you may have to wait more than a few minutes to get served, but who cares, right? You're on your holes and have those gorgeous views ahead of you to look at for free. I of course opted for my usual coffee and tostada combo, despite other breakfast and light bite options being available, and my coffee was served very quickly and was lovely and hot, and accompanied by a biscuit, which is always very welcome. My tostada, which arrived on a huge plate, was served as a very long soft half baguette with a small china dish of tomato pulp on the plate, complete with the tiniest spoon known to man on the side, and it was so cute I could quite believe it would fit perfectly in a doll's house. The olive oil and salt came in separate portions, along with a knife and fork wrapped up in a napkin, and the bread was deliciously lightly toasted and certainly hit the spot. Toilets are situated at the end of a corridor in the far corner, and there are lots of nods to British icons and culture on the walls, including a large Union Jack mural with a picture of a young Queen Elizabeth in the centre, along with a canvas of the internationally famous Liverpool band who need no introduction, who are of course the Beatles. As a breakfast combo deal is not offered as such, my breakfast items were charged individually, with a coffee costing €2 and my tostada just €1.50, making the delicious duo just €3.50 in total. At that price and with those views, I would certainly pop in again another time and try some of their other foodie delights too, so why don't you give it a go next time you're here as well. Our second stop takes us to the 3-star Hotel Hoya, which is situated on the corner junctions of Avenida de Andalucía and Calle Islandia, and just about equidistant between the New Town and the Old Town areas. If you're not familiar with this area, just off one of this neighbourhood's busy thoroughfares, Avenida Alfonso Pachadas, that leads past Clínica Benidorm and the Bullring, then you can easily take a number 1 or 2 bus from town and get dropped off almost outside. The hotel's Cafeteria Hoya sits underneath the main hotel building and is open and available for anyone to enjoy, whether a guest of the hotel or not. There is a shaded outdoor terrace under awnings with food and drink stalls displayed outside on a blackboard, or you can take a seat in the roomy inside cafe bar itself, with the hotel staff working busily away at the semicircular bar in the far corner. Waitress service is offered, but as they were particularly full on the day I visited, I ordered and paid at the bar and then took my coffee to my table myself, whilst my tostada was brought to me when ready. The uniformed hotel staff were very pleasant and friendly, and also I noted bilingual, as although this is a very Spanish establishment, I did hear some young Brits there too, and my coffee was strong and hot and just what I needed after walking around videoing on a hot summer's day. Full cooked English breakfasts are also offered at the cafe bar, along with a selection of snacks such as baguettes, pizzas and chips, and a full menu of drinks including cocktails. My tostada, when delivered, was a fat, bready, well-toasted half barra de pan, served with a glass of delicious grated tomato and its juices, along with a sachet of quality extra virgin olive oil and one of salt with a napkin underneath, although why the Spanish do this I will never know, as you have to pull out the napkin to use it, often getting it wet in the process, especially if the tostada is already topped. It was all super tasty, and with the pleasant goings-on of the hotel and residents around me, I found it an interesting and different place to stop for a bite. My coffee and tostada were both charged at $1.50 each, so at €3 all in, the yummy double act was certainly a bargain, and I would definitely recommend this little spot if you're ever this way. Our third stop takes us right into the heart of the old town and halfway down Avenida del Almendros, where we find the 3-star Hotel Monty. A small but modern hotel with just 68 rooms over its 6 floors. I was shopping in this area and desperate for a drink to revive me, and the look of their air-conditioned L-shaped corner cafe and bar set just above street level caught my eye, so I headed on in. Although they don't offer tostadas as such, so please forgive me for including this venue, they do offer light bites such as croissants and montaditos, which are like miniature filled rolls, but on this day I'd really worked up an appetite, so opted for a hearty bocadillo de lomo y queso, otherwise known as a marinated pork and cheese baguette. It was beautifully hot and fresh, served with a side of rustic style Spanish crisps, and my lovely white coffee was presented in a glass along with an accompanying bicky. Special breakfast deals are available until 10:30 a.m, which are clearly shown on the menu on every table, which include coffee, pastries and juice, but I arrived very late morning, so just ordered what I fancied. My coffee came to a superbly reasonable $1.50 and my huge baguette just €3.50, which was amazing value, as lots of places charge €5 or more easily for such a large and freshly cooked item. At €5 for the two, I was more than satisfied. In fact, if I'm honest, I was completely stuffed. And with pleasant service from the hotel staff too, I would most definitely return again, no doubt about it. We stay in the Old Town for our fourth stop, where at the top of Avenida de Retafa, just uphill from the Hotel Magic Crystal Park, we find the small tapas bar of La Ruta de Pablo. Open Mondays to Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 11 in the evening, this small, unassuming but very busy Spanish bar is a great place to stop for a drink or tapa, whether you sit outside on their small exterior terrace and watch the world go by, or inside opposite the bar at one of the modern cafe-style tables and chairs. I chose to sit inside, and my order was taken by the hard-working and efficient waiter in just a matter of seconds. My coffee arrived shortly afterwards and was a good size, with hot milk poured into my cup at the table, as is the most professional and traditional way to serve it to customers. My tostada, when it was delivered, was huge, beautifully toasted and lovely and hot, and served with a small dish of roughly grated tomato, some with bits of skin still on, but not to worry, as well as a sachet of salt and a bottle of my favourite oil, La Española, on the table, and I have to say it was lip-lickingly good. The pleasant pairing of tostada and white coffee, along with my friend's tostada and half a lager, came to the measly sum of €4.80 for everything, so superb value for money and definitely somewhere to try if you're ever passing. Our fifth and final stop takes us down to the beautiful Levante beachfront once more, but this time at the Rincon de Loix end of town, along the section known as Avenida Madrid. Here, in its prime location, we find the recently renovated Cafe Roman, who have been providing good quality food and drinks to Benidorm's hungry and thirsty customers since back in 1975. Although I have visited this venue before, would you believe it was back in October 2021 and on only my second Tostada tour vlog? And with the premises and menus all looking new and exciting, but the gorgeous views of the Mediterranean Sea and Peacock Island thankfully the same, I thought I'd check it out again. I chose to sit inside in the main central seating area, but as you will see as you watch, there is a split level to the interior now, with a small higher section at the back, and also tables and chairs available right on the pavement itself, which now seems to be the norm following the worldwide pandemic. Menus are available on most of the tables, or you can wait until one is brought to you, and these come as printed A4 sheets attached to a clipboard in Spanish, English and other languages available too, with a separate clip of sheets available for breakfast offerings which you can order up until 1 p.m. These include a full English breakfast for €6, as well as crusty baguettes or bocadillos, pancakes and croissants, and a full menu is also available with main meals including seafood, ice cream sundaes, cocktails and a menu of the day, although I of course chose my beloved favourite tostada, as I always do. The two waiters were kept extremely busy, but I was still served in good time and in a friendly manner. The staff are now dressed in casual white polos and smart beige chinos for a more relaxed, informal feel than the Cafe Bar and Restaurant had before. My strong white coffee was brought promptly and was a good size and piping hot, although of course I had ordered it that way as I can't stand a lukewarm coffee myself. My tostada was beautifully presented in two halves, topped with plenty of tomato pulp and a generous portion of delicious buttery serrano ham, which I just fancied that day, all on a white china plate with separate condiments and a good thick quality napkin, which I always appreciate as adding olive oil to anything can be quite a messy affair. My breakfast companion chose a bacon and cheese baguette, which looked fresh and inviting, cut into two and held in place by wooden skewers, and again its filling was generous and the whole baguette hot enough that the cheese was actually melting, delicious. The decor is now tropically themed with pale creams and beiges and touches of bamboo and large leafy plants dotted about. The small entertainment area remains at the far end of the dining area, and do note, as I did, the prices are listed according to whether a music act is on or not, with costs on average going up about 50 cents per drink when the act is on, but to be fair, this is not a new thing in Benidorm, and at least Cafe Roman are being transparent about it as it is clearly listed on the menu sheets. Free Wi-Fi is now available, which wasn't previously, and the clean and modern toilets remain in the far corner, up 2 steps and then a ramp, just by the kitchen, which has a large open-fronted serving hatch, showing that they have nothing to hide. With the fabric blinds of the ceiling pulled back to let in the lovely Spanish sunshine, chilled music playing in the background and those fabulous views straight ahead, I have to say I was pleased I chose to visit again, and in addition, my tostada was absolutely delicious. My tasty twosome of tostada con tomate and coffee came to €5.50, but this would have been reduced to just €3.80 had I not chosen the option of adding cured Spanish ham as an extra. I will 100% be returning again, and I urge you to give a visit with its brand new look next time you are here. This final review brings us to the end of this 17th edition of my Benidorm Breakfast the Original Tostada Tour, and I really hope you enjoyed it with me and it's given you a few new ideas of where to stop off for a light bite in the morning when you're next here on your holes. Also, feel free to drop me a line in the comments section if there is something or somewhere that you would particularly like me to include in the future, and as always, I'll see what I can do. I'll see you out and about next time, maybe for a coffee and tostada, and thanks so much for watching as always. Bye for now, adios, and catch you again soon. Cheers!